Today is Tuesday, August 8th. I got yarn mail Saturday, but I am just now getting this started. I already pulled out the string, the center pull of this. I don't know why people complain about yarn barf. That's not that bad for me to ever find the center pull. Anyway, so I have 3 skeins of this. It is a new yarn. It's mandala string. The colorway I chose is Ballad. And you can see like a little hint of what it's going to look like. I feel like I picked like the most neutrally one. I'm okay with however it comes out. I don't care about like the balls switching and like changing the striping pattern. We're gonna see how things go. So I've always been wanting to design like my own Ruana. It is something that I enjoy to wear, that I've also enjoyed making from others. So the plan is it's gonna be knit. So I looked on here and the suggested needle size is 3.25 millimeter. So I got that set. I have it on 14-inch cables, you know, and my needle sizes are 4 inches each. So it is what it is, but like I kind of wish I could use my 30-inch cables. I broke that one and I need to order a replacement and I just haven't. I keep forgetting. I might wait till the next festival to just get some while I'm there, because I might get multiple cords. I don't know. I really like red lace. I know that, so I need to just collect them. Anyway, so I've been wanting to make a Ruana, so I've named this the Rustic and Cozy Ruana because I feel like that's the vibe of this colorway. And the stitch I was kind of wanting to go somewhere like royal type, because the stitch I'm using is like called the crown stitch, but I'm not gonna have it to where it's actually a crown like this way. So I'm gonna turn the panels so they're sideways, so the crown would be, you know, the way the crown stitch is, like it would be gaps basically going vertical, because I feel like vertical stripes give the illusion of length, and I'm short, kind of shorter than probably what most people seem to think I am. So maybe I'm giving the correct illusions here, but I've just known that stripes, like when they're horizontal, can make you look wider, and when they're vertical, they can make you look longer. And so yeah, that's what I'm going for, like the longer, and then I want to put like some scallop edging on it just for some finishings. I don't know if I'm going to do it on every edge, like if I'm going to do sleeves, the bottom, the neckline, like if I'm going to do all the way around, I don't know. We'll see how things go, but I definitely know I'm going to make them 2 really long panels. So it's going to be about casting on a lot of stitches, which is kind of why I need something longer than this, but we'll see. I haven't designed anything fingering weight. Have I? Ever? I don't think. And so I wanted to jump on this because Lion Brand doesn't do a lot of fingering weight, and then this also gives me opportunity to open like a whole new world with other people, to be able to maybe see me, because a lot of people just only go for fingering weight these days. So I'm super excited, gonna get it started. I guess I'm gonna be swatching to figure out how many stitches I need to put on. The amount of excitement I have for this project. This yarn is incredible. I don't think I said it is 100% acrylic, and it has 350 yards per 100 grams. You can already see a little bit of like the fade into the color here. Kind of hard to grasp, but you kind of can. Gray to like tan there. Yeah, I picked like the most neutrally color, and I love it so much. I can't wait. Another reason why I kind of chose like this design and like trying to go with vertical striping is that like, and the way the panels are going to be so long, I feel like you're going to see more of the color transitions and changes happening. I don't know whether I'm going to be very particular on when I start like a new skein in on how that's going to affect like the color changing, but because I think that it's going to be subtle enough that it's going to be pretty. I just am so excited. I feel like this stitching is very similar to like broomstick crochet, which I've always wanted to try and I never have. So I'm wondering if maybe I should make like a crochet version of this also, using like a broomstick crochet. Yeah, it's my first time kind of doing this crown stitch or really ever hearing of it. I mean, I've had it in my like stitch collection for a while. I just never have tried it. Yeah, so this yarn has quite the sheen. It has a bit of stretch. Yeah, it springs back, and obviously you can tell the stitch definition is incredible. When I show on like the opposite camera, it'll be way better than the selfie camera, but you know, real life here, I'm in love. I have made a significant amount of progress. I say that, but it's literally just one repeat and like a half. But now I'm sitting here thinking like I was making it hip length and I want it to be a Ruana, which I feel like is more tunic length. I feel like I probably have the yardage for it too. So I'm thinking I'm going to frog this and do the math again for something more like tunic length. But it'll be worth it, I think, because I was almost gonna finish this and then see like whether it works out right and looks okay hip length, and then adding in like the edging and stuff. But I want it to be Ruana vibes, you know, and I feel like that means length. But you can see like the transition is subtle-ish. You can see ish. Like, that doesn't help. You'll see later. And also, you guys, I am ridiculous. I proudly bound this off thinking I figured everything out so great. And I mean, I'm obsessed. I swear I've pet every single stripe. Like the color changing the way that it's happening is making me so happy. But I believe we're going to be changing that because they are probably going to become thinner color changes now. Guess what I did? I did the math and I was like, oh, yay. You know, thinking of the length, forgetting it's got to go over, right? So I already had like blocked it before thinking, oh, I needed more length. Because initially I tried for like a hip length, and then I thought, oh, Ruanas are longer. So then I went with tunic length. And now that I'm doing it and I only have like this much yarn left and I only got like 3 skeins. So if like basically having to double this and then do it twice, and then if I want scalloped edging, which I definitely think I'm going to need at the bottom, at least on the bottom there. I mean, I could probably not have to have it on insides and the outsides, but like the bottom for sure. So I think I'm going to go back to the idea of hip length now that I can see it here and realizing this is the actual length and I need to double up my stitches. So about like 8 1/4 here. So it's like, you know, somewhere around here. And then be adding like an inch or two because of the scallop edging. So I think that that is a good place for it to fall for me. So if I'm sitting, you know, like this, I would definitely be sitting on, you know, let's see. So the seam would probably be here. So I'd definitely be sitting on it there. But I think I might leave the option in the design to have like both lengths, if you want a tunic length or if you want a hip length. I think I'll do it both ways. It's just, if you choose that, it's gonna be more yardage, you know? So I'm gonna frog this so I can make the right sample. Good morning. It's a new week. It's Monday. I'm still struggling from the weekend's events of racing. I am so sleepy, but look, I've made quite a bit of progress. So I did share that I recast it on, well, I frogged and recast it on, and I do like a double needle cast on so that it's a loose edge. You can see like there's some stretch there. This yarn, it has some stretch to it too. It's pretty cool yarn. I gotta say, I'm in love with it. I kind of wish that it came in more tonals as well, or even like if it was like maintaining stripes like this, if it was like all, say like each color of the rainbow, like pinks, purple, pink's not in the color of the rainbow, but you know what I mean, like I love pink, so purples and blues and reds and yellows, whatever, like each kind of shade of that as the stripes would be even cooler. So hopefully as time goes on, if people really enjoy this yarn and take advantage of it, that they might expand some of the color palette. But I think it's part of mandala's nature to have like self-striping to it. So I don't imagine that they're gonna change that aspect of it. Anyway, that's about besides what I was gonna talk about on the knitting, actual knitting of the project. There are other stretchy like cast-ons that you could use, but I like the idea of still just doing long tail and just using like the needles held together, so that you get kind of a looser cast on. And so I am halfway, nearly halfway. I'm about to do another one of these little crown stitch bits, and then I'm going to do another set, but of like this whole section, and then I should have the width that I need. It's crazy. I'm going to get like third panel syndrome, I feel like. I can't believe that I made that kind of mistake. I'm pretty sure I have all the stitches on here. I sure hope so. And yeah, so good morning again. And I've reached the end of the first game. I forgot to mention too, I had a long tail left, you know, from the cast on, and I decided to leave it on because I'm probably going to need it for seaming anyway. So that might be like a nice little bonus tip to do, but it's not necessary. Look at that. One skein got me all that. I need like 2 more repeats. I don't think I pulled from the center of this skein, and I feel like it seems like the same color, and I'm at the end of that, so I'm gonna go with it. Hopefully it stripes like beautifully, blends beautifully with the rest of what's going on. I think the color changes are subtle, so I have faith it'll work out. I bound off. I bound off. And I'm loving it. Thank God that it worked this time around. The striping is still just amazing. And I'm going to have to block this before starting the second one just so I could be for sure like that this is going to get the dimensions I want. But I do like the hip length. I think the tunic length would be cool too, but like I'm already into the second skein, so we'll see like how yardage goes. And now that I have it on here, I kind of think I really would like, you know, for sure I'm doing the scallop on the bottom for the edging because like that could use some cleaning up, and I just think it'll give it a more romantic vibe, especially since I have such a neutrally color. But I am thinking about, you know, I want scallops, initially I want scallops everywhere. On this edge, it's hot outside, I just let the dogs out and brought them back in, so they're panting in the background. But I feel like I would love it here and here too. And here's the option too. I feel like I want to give the option here, where you could leave this open like a Ruana traditionally is, or you could seam it and give yourself like a sleeve also. And either way, you could do scallops around it. I don't know, because maybe I don't know if I want to leave mine open, but it does give a good option because once it's seamed back there, then you have the two and you can like flick over and it looks cool, and you can make a big scarf out of it too. So like say if I had two and it's seamed up, like you could like put them around like however which way that you want to. There's a lot of ways to style it that way. So I feel like I want to give options on here for a couple things that are really easy to make an option. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because you know I said I added the second skein and we wanted it skein whatever, and we wanted to see how the striping was going to be going. Well, let's see, where is it exactly at? So the colors got off a little bit here because you can see gray, like light gray, and then here's dark gray. So right here in this middle one, we've got like a double color here, and then it goes to the dark grays. So we gotta, and then like the bind off switch to another color. But I think when you see like the whole thing, it's not a big deal. It all still seems to blend together. I think that each colorway is like a cool palette, and it's not taking away from the picture of it. And I think I just love the vertical stripes. Vertical stripes are just so great to be wearing, especially because I'm really like a shorter person, and I feel like that elongates yourself versus like they say that horizontal stripes are supposed to make you look wider, but I don't mind horizontal stripes either, or you know, whatever. They both have a good time for themselves, but I think for this, like, I like the idea of making it so that I don't have to seam more or seam in the shoulders, and like, I don't know. I just like the idea of this construction. I've always wanted to have a Ruana, and I felt like a fingering weight was the perfect time to do it, especially with making this yarn work. I think not everybody wants to work with self-striping or variegated types of yarns, and although I do wish that they could offer this in also like a tonal type of vibe, I dig this look. I think the fabric too, like on these stitches, could be reversible. I feel like both sides are just as pretty. So I think that that's a note I could add too. Like, you just choose the side you like, and that's how you can seam. I don't know. Anyway, it's off to blocking. I'm gonna now take a knit break because I really cranked through that, and my wrist and my arms are killing me. Although I'm probably still going to be using them because I plan on like cleaning. I want to reorganize my whole yarny area. So it'll probably be done, but like that part will probably be done by the time I air this, but it's going to be offered to my Ko-fi subscribers. So yeah, I'm excited. I think that I'm gonna move this, take all the knickknacks out and move this cabinet in, and like, I don't know yet about keeping my finished objects stuff in there, or like my finished makes,
or more yarn in there. We're gonna let my Ko-fi subscribers decide. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a break, and I can't wait to start on the second panel.
I haven't made a whole lot more progress, but I just wanted to say that I did cast on the second panel. I cut my finger, so thank goodness for this little thing. But it is kind of hitting that every now and then. I did that while reorganizing my yarn, and one of the like shelves has like some a broken piece of the glass, but it still is functional, but I slid my hand across it. Like, anyway, yeah, I'm excited to get this second piece done and see how the fit works up. I got about 4 repeats, and so essentially halfway, but it is time to add another skein. The last one I have. I made quite a bit of progress being passenger princess today. Got 1 more and a half repeat, and only this much yarn-ish. This too. Because I cut in, when I switched to the 3rd skein, I cut this much out so that I could maintain this color. Excuse the poor lighting. Okay, I am on the last repeat, but I want to fit in some of the stitch work so that you can see it. It's basically like a 8-row repeat. Excuse my nails. I have not redone them. I picked all the polish off. They need a great manicure. And now I probably made a huge focus on it for you to look at. But done is better than perfect. So I want to be able to share with you so you can realize that this is a very easy stitch. So let's just ignore it, like all the ugly. Focus on the beautiful design. Anyway, okay, so the repeat is the garter sections. So after each of these extended stitch areas, like the crown stitch, you will have 2 knit stitch rows and then 4 knit stitch rows, which give you the garter. It's knit back and forth. So row 1 through 4 is knits, and then you will proceed doing this row, the 5th row. Okay, so let's see here. I am at very little yarn as well, right there, and then I have the little ball left still. But this row you will knit, yarn over 3, knit, yarn over 3. You literally do this the whole entire time. It kind of gets a little overwhelming if you're going to use a small cord like me on jamming everything on there and having to slide all the stitches, but this is what gives you your elongated stitches later. When you get to the end, there'll be 1 last stitch left, and you will knit in that, and then we'll continue with the next row. So I'll be back for that. Okay, I got all the stitches on there. My yarn here is some serious yarn barf, so we're gonna see how things go here. But as you can see, like, I really have to jam them on this cord the way that I have it set. I don't suggest that. It's a bit of a workout. Also, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and then later when I get off of these stitches here and I have to shuffle them all on here, it gets like some stitches will get under the other of the yarn overs, and I just have to yank differently. So yeah, but I've made myself familiar with the yarn overs and dropping those stitches. So basically what we're going to do here, this is going to be the repeat for the next row 6, I think it is. Yeah, so you slip and then you drop those 3 yarn over stitches, slip the next one, drop 3 stitches. We have 3 stitches on here now. We're gonna go to 5 stitches. So that's 4 and 5. So I got 5 stitches now on this needle, and I'm gonna slip them all back on my working needle, and I'm gonna make 5 stitches into it. So I'm gonna knit through all of them. Yeah, they're all on there, right? Okay, this is hard to do through the camera. Knit through all of them. So I got 1 stitch now. Then I'm gonna purl through all of them. Knit through all of them. Ooh, this is so hard to do through the camera. And purl through all of them. Finally, knit through all of them. So there we go. We got 5 stitches there. And that's what we're going to do all the way down. So I'll do it one more time. Drop the 3 yarn overs, slip, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then slip all those on there, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. And then you'll see there, that's how we get those little crown stitches. So I'll do that all the way down on all of the stitches, and then I will knit for the 7th and 8th row, and that's the final repeat. Or, well, that's the full repeat. Yay! I hope that it seems less daunting for you. Okay, I finally have a chance to like record about blocking my stuff. I know I've been asked before about like, I'm not even worried about every single line on here matching. I guess maybe I should make sure all the tiles are at least facing like the same way. But if they're not in the same sequence, the lines don't necessarily match on these tiles. These are just, I don't know why these kind of become like my favorite ones to use, but I do have other ones too. Anyway, I've been asked before about why I always share blocking and like washing my stuff and all that other stuff, that process, as some people don't think that that's part, like technically part of the whole making process. But I do think it is, because it's like really finalizing the thing. Like for instance, for this, looking at this, I'm not gonna, like my swatched version, I heavily blocked it, but I wet blocked it. But acrylic, I feel like can react even better when it's steam blocked. And a lot of people have actual steamers. I just use my iron. So I've got it plugged in, ready and waiting. And I make sure that I have extra water with me, because the steam is not going to work unless I have water. Obviously, that's where steam comes from. Anyway, so I think like it's hard to seam and really get the dimension you need and the look that I need. So these little stitches that have elongated, like, okay, so look at this. What I'm trying to get is a 40-inch bust for the size I'm making. This right here is 8 inches. So I really need 10 inches. It's not that big to give it, you know, the 10 inches. And it's going to open it up and really look, give the look that I want it to be. So since I want to do this
already and quickly, I'm doing the steam block, even though my gauge swatch I wet blocked. But after the fact, I can still wet block this again if I want to at any point. Like, I wash my things regularly after I wear them. So yeah, anyways, I know a lot of, did I say that already? Yeah, a lot of people use actual steamers, but I'm just going to use the iron. I just make sure that the iron, like, I don't press the actual iron onto this. So since this is going to be going over my shoulder, the length I'm trying to go for, I think, is like 20 and a quarter, 20 inches and a quarter. So let's see. This right here, like both of these mats, or all these mats, the way I've set it, I can go 39, well, let me see. So this is like 40 inches and a half. So I'm gonna do 40 and a half inches and 10 inches length. So I'm gonna roughly, looks like my iron's ready. So I also I need to get more of these, but these knit blockers by Knitter's Pride are fantastic. These are T-pins that I have too. This is from my Coco Knits like collection of blocking mats. Since I don't have that many, like I only have these blocks, I need to get more of those because I freaking love these things. They make really great straight edges. I'd also like to get some of those like sticks that you put through, like for lace work. Anyway, I think the last one, I put more on a straight line up here, huh? I guess I could go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll use the next line down here. So I'm gonna try and do like on the edge here first when I start. And so 10 inches is about this line down here. So as I start, that'll be the rough idea when I start like steaming it, okay? So you can see here it looks really freaking stretched, which the way it's going, that's not exactly the look that we want. But once we start, so for mine, I have a setting here like steam or the stream part. As the iron gets hot, I put it on like the highest for mine. Oh, I didn't. It was on the wool. I put it on the highest for mine, which is the cotton, the linen cotton. But wool is probably fine, but I don't press it on there. So like these top two settings for my iron offer steam. That's the icon on it. And the ones that are lower don't have steam. So, yeah, so I'll just like, this is about as high as I go, and I'll press like the little steam button. And I can feel that it's getting steam and heat onto here. And then as I do it, I will like help it, assist it in some of the stretch. And see, you can already tell those stitches started to relax. I almost don't even have to pin it. Like, it looks so good. But I'm going to, so that when it cools, it will not like revert back. And it'll stay where I want it to be. But I'm giving it a rough idea right now to go like, so it's easier for even pinning. But the iron takes like a little bit in between to get warmed up too. I literally just plugged it in. So that's what we got here. And I'm gonna try and like even some of this out where like I'll but I also want to keep it on this edge here too. So what did I say that it is this last block? Let me measure again. Yeah. So 39 right there. So this is probably 40 and a half. So I don't even think it needs to go all the way to the end. Probably right here. And then how far down here? Like this line. See, the lines don't exactly match though, so because I didn't yeah. It's a little bit rough, but you get the, like with me explaining, but you get the idea. It's not, I don't always pin everything when I'm in a steam block or wet block. But when it comes to like lace work like this, for it to really open up and stay there during the drying process, like this with the acrylic, it doesn't take like that long. But yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. I'm gonna spread out these pins like as much as I can, and then fill the gaps in with the T-pins so it'll be more straight lines. And then yeah, I'll kind of show you the final look of it in a minute. And then today I plan on seaming and working on the edging. I just really feel like this gives such a great polished look when you take the time to do this. And it really helps also with seaming when you block before, especially when it comes to something like this. So this is done like when it's not damp anymore and it's cooled down. I feel like for me, I probably let it stay longer than it needs to, and I do the same whenever I'm like wet blocking too. As it's like soaking, I let things soak longer than it needs to. One, because I'll forget and get distracted with a different project, but two, I feel like it's a situation where it's better safe than sorry, because if I undo all this too soon, then it might not stay like as spread open. But acrylic tends to stay where you've put it. But by later, after I've released this will probably end up in the wash, and I will be killing the acrylic because that's my favorite way to do it. But yeah, I don't know. I may just love this and decide to maintain its integrity on this actual fiber. I am such a big fan of this striping. I'm not normally into that sort of thing, but it's such subtle like fade. I could say it over and over again, even on the moments like this where like the color changed in between there. I don't think it's so obvious where it takes away from the design. I think that the yarn and this design flow so well together. I'm sorry, I know it's very pixelated, but you get the idea, right? I seam the back. If this was tunic length, I have a feeling that you could leave everything open and it would like be nice to wear. So I'm gonna put I'm gonna seam the sides on this one, and I'm gonna put scalloped edging on the bottom. I don't have a whole lot of yarn left, so I'm not sure how much that's gonna take and whether I'd be able to have enough like for the neckline or for the sides here, but the edges are pretty clean. So it's not a big deal if you wanted to leave it exposed. I feel like we could go with customizations here, but ideally I would like to have scallop edging all around it. I feel like it would give it like the rustic and like rustic romantic flair I was thinking, but I'm still happy. I got the side seam, I got the side seam. I kind of wish I had enough yarn to have done tunic length. I feel like I would get the exact flowy Ruana vibe that I really want, but this is still cute. And so now I'm gonna do like the scallop edging. I think even having it like this would be cute. I feel like I should have enough to do scallop on the bottom and scallop at least on the sleeves. Let's hope.
I just really looked in more detail about how to do this scallop edging that I want to, and there are not a lot of scallop edging options in knit. So the tutorial I'm following is Russian, which makes it even harder for me to like learn, but this is how I find a lot of unique stitches that I tend to use in some of my designs. I end up like searching and finding stuff that doesn't tend to be in English, and I have to like break it down to what I can use and need. Anyway, it looks like the stitches are made from bottom up, and for me to pick it up on this, I really need it to be the opposite because I want it to go around the bottom border, which means we're gonna have to make, it's gonna be more seaming. We're gonna have to make the scalloped edging and then seam it onto it. Are y'all gonna hate me? I feel like it also opens a little bit more options of customization. So we're just gonna go with it. But I really wish I could just pick up stitches and work off of that. I also forgot to mention that you could technically seam the front here and make yourself like a little T if you prefer that. Instead of like an open cardigan thing, I think that'd be just as cute. I didn't expect this design to be so versatile, but it's proving itself to be. Hey, rolling in with my very professional tutorial. No, you know how it is around here, but I do feel like a video is necessary for the scallop edging section. So I wanted to go ahead and share like the 2 rows that are going to need some video assistance. The first 2 rows, like the cast on, and then the first 2 rows I've already done here. I feel like that's pretty normal and you can figure that one out. So this next one is pretty easy too. It's just that you want to kind of do like an opposite way of a yarn over so that you draw, like when you, how do I even explain this? When the stitch is like knit, then it stays instead of coming unraveled. So row 3 is what we're calling this. With the yarn in the back, we're going to slip the first stitch. We're basically always going to be slipping the first and the last stitches to give ourselves clean edges. So you'll see there's also slips in between because this is like basically that's the scallop. So that's where those established things happen in the first couple rows. With the yarn in the back, you slip the first stitch. We're going to knit and do like a couple yarn. So if we were to do a normal yarn over, we would do it like that, but that's not going to work for us. We're going to do yarn overs like this. So that's 2 stitches there. And we do that 7 times. Oh. 2 stitches there. It's so hard to remember to twist the opposite direction. Seven times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we are to off the needle. We are to the slip stitch. So then with the yarn in the back, we'll be slipping that stitch. And that is the established repeat for this row. So you'll continue to knit while doing the double yarn overs for the 7 stitches. And that's basically going to make an elongated stitch for the next row. We are back for row 4, and prepare yourself on this one. It might get a little complicated, so we'll go over it a few times because we have several scallops here to do. At the very get-go, we are going to be knitting the first 2 together. So that's going to include the edge slip stitch
and basically one of those like yarn over stitches from the double yarn overs. Let's see if I can do this on camera. Can I get it in there? Please. Please don't make me look foolish. It's so hard to like stitch through cameras. I give so much credit to people that do these tutorials, I tell you. Oh my gosh. I have never had such a hard time doing this. I've already done so many. My hands are sweating right now. Maybe that's my problem. Is it in there? No, I got a split stitch. Okay, it's in there now. All right, oh my gosh, I dropped it out of there. Oh, the struggle. Are you like cringing right now as much as I am? Okay, I got the knit two together done. We did it, guys. Okay, so with the knit two together done, we are going to turn your work. We're going to do a lot of this turning back and forth, okay? Yarn in the back, and we are going to be knitting 3 kind of in this stitch. So knit 1, place it back on the needle, and then in the stitch you just made, knit another, place it back on the needle. We'll do that a couple more times. Oh, well, one more time to get 4 stitches. So each time you're going to notice that you have 4 stitches lined up here. Turn again. And this is where we're going to get our elongated stitches I was talking about before. So we're going to be picking up or slipping 7 stitches. 1, purlwise, 2, see how the yarn over came off, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you'll know it's right because you'll come back to that slip stitch. So now we're going to be sliding those 7 stitches back to this needle. A lot of times I like to do it this way, okay? So your yarn is going to be in the front because we're going to be purling all those together. So I'll like to go, and you can see like where this yarn is attached. Those are the 7 stitches back there because they're the loose stitches. That first one is going to be kind of hard. So I will go through. Now they're all, -1. Now they're all through it. And now we're going to purl. Instead of having to fully slide, I already have my needle in there. Oh my gosh, I split the stitch. This is so hard to do through the camera. I'm stressed. It's fine. It's not as bad when you guys are doing it and you're not having to hunch over, okay? So it's okay. Let me try again. 7 stitches. Is that this? Yeah, okay. Okay. Also, I had to turn the air conditioner off, so that's another reason why my palms are probably sweating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Purl. Come on through. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Oh my gosh. How do people do these tutorials with such ease? Probably because they don't have a tripod in the way. And they have like a whole fancy setup that has like a nice little arm. I'm going to put it through and see if I can't pull up this stitch so that it's not split. Oh my gosh, please don't cringe so much. Am I going to end up dropping these stitches? The first scallops strip that I made was not like this. Hang on. Y'all don't want to know how shockingly long it took me to do that. How embarrassing. Okay, we got to turn again because each little section is going to get the 4 stitch grouping. So again, with this one purl that we did in this, we're going to create 3 more stitches on it. 1, 2, 3. So look, there's a group of 4, a group of 4. Now we'll turn and we'll purl that slip stitch and then turn again. And now we'll do 3 into this again to make another grouping of 4. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. That's one little scallop. Isn't she cute? Okay, so should we try this again for another scallop? Are we going to do better this time? Please tell me so. I think as it goes, it gets a little easier, but when you're on like the end one, that kind of is a little bit hard. Okay, so now we will, with the yarn in the front, slip 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now we're gonna slide our needle all 7 stitches. Look, I got that one so much quicker, right? Okay, wrap. Please go through. And we're purling all those together. Okay, that happened a little bit better. Still not as graceful, but a little bit better. And then now turn again and make 3 more in that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just 3. Just kidding, just 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 we've done. Purl the next one. Turn. And make 3 more in that. 1, 2, 3. So that's the repeat. We're going to do that all the way down, and then for the very last stitch, you're just going to purl the last stitch. You're not going to worry about making the 4 more in them. But that's the repeat, and I won't be back anymore. The last couple rows are pretty easy. We're just going to do like a knit across and then a purl across to give us a clean edge, and we're going to do our stretchy bind off so that we'll be able to seam these to the Ruana. So glad that you got it done with me. I know it's a little bit of a feat to get the scalloped edging. It's not near as easy in knit as it is in crochet, but I do think it gives that extra special touch to the Ruana. So have faith in yourself. You can do it. Just keep trying.
See if I can't hurry up and show y'all. I freaking did it. I won at Yarn Chicken. It's amazing. That's like all I have left. I got everything woven. Now I'm just gonna take some photos, and I even steamed the edges, and look how great it opened up. I changed my clothes like multiple times, and I decided on this with my boots, and the colors are changing in the trees over here, so I'm gonna try and get a photo. And then look how cool the sky looks too. And I might go down here with this dilapidated thing, but we're supposed to be going to dinner here soon, so let me just get it done. I just had to give y'all an update. I also don't think I ever mentioned, I feel like this would be great as a tee. Maybe I did mention it, but even just seeing it now with the finished, like, yeah. So I think I want to make another one with using like maybe some indie dyed yarn and making a size bigger, and the tunic length. And I think I'll get like the Ruana, I imagine, but I do feel like this is extremely wearable and a fantastic transition piece. Ugh, I'm in love.